From Lalate News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is the Midday Report on Lalate.
It's a big day here at noontime with incredible new details about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. In this recording, we'll go over that monthly stimulus check and why the Democrats are likely to give you more months of checks. Then we cut to the recon as the president's number one guy, his chief of staff, speaks about your recon just minutes ago. I'll have his breaking news statements and why it's all deliciousness. We'll be going over that recon. Done deal, signed, sealed, $3.5 trillion of checks coming to you and the American people, and what this means in this incredible recon recording. Then we cut to the big developments as the MSCs are on tap. The number one guy in DC wants you to have a monthly stimulus check. I'll go over the calculations and why it's a game changer, how history is in the making, and how you're making the news, not reading it. It's a big day, it's a big noontime, and it starts right here, right now, at noontime on Lalate. Hey, good noontime, everybody. It's a beautiful day across the board. I'm so glad you're joining me direct from Santa Monica, California, with incredible details about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. We'll have the breaking news statement from the White House about unemployment benefits, about the recon, about Joe Manchin, and about eviction moratorium. All those breaking details happening today. I told you it's going to be a big weekend of news, so thank you for joining me. We'll be going over the fourth stimulus check and why the number one guy in D.C. is flexing his muscles to make sure you're coming out of that surf with some monthly stimulus checks in your hand. Then we'll be cutting to the application-based money of fourth stimulus and why this is the biggest payout we've ever seen in the history of this channel. We'll have all the incredible details of that and more, and why this is a big day for you to be being big sums of money. And we're going to meet one viewer who went from $80,000 for himself last week to $100,000 for other people this week. And this is Lalate, America's only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel in America, live in the morning and taped in the afternoons. Coming up next is Afternoons Lalate at 1 o'clock, so subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. The link is under the video. Meantime, if you haven't signed up for those Lalate alerts, what are you doing? It's totally free. It's at news.lalate.com/alerts. It looks like this, and you put your name and email address in, totally free. Get a confirmation email, like an alert about this video, and you can watch for that confirmation email. It may be in the spam folder. 1,000 of you are still pending, and you can get those alerts wherever you are, on the street or on the road. Let's cut to those monthly stimulus checks. House versus Senate, Senate versus House, because guess what? Everybody's talking about them. Warren, Sanders, and Wyden talking about it as monthly, but not saying the amount and not saying how often. Then we have AOC and Omar calling for it monthly with a $2,000 amount, but not saying the number of months. We have the House Ways and Means calling for it, fourth stimulus check, monthly, but not saying the number of months nor the amount. And then we have the American petition by Americans calling for this $2,000 a month, but not saying the number of months. Of course, the one that's captivating a country has been that House bill, which is pandemic plus 1 year, $1,000 a month. The first month only is $2,000. So vote House of Senate. House of Senate, tell me where you're tuning in from and how the weather is where you are this beautiful Labor Day weekend. The weather is gorgeous here across the coast. Who gets this fourth stimulus check? You do. Democrats represent that. You get a fourth stimulus check. Single individual, $75,000 less. You get it. Married couple, $150,000 less. Democrats represent. You get a fourth stimulus check. Double it. Family of four. Democrats represent. You get a fourth stimulus check. Quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, Democrats represent. You get it as well. In the final 15 minutes of this video, you're going to meet the number one guy in the number one position on the number one committee that wants you to have a MSC. and that he's proposing for it across the board. Wow. Yesterday, I introduced a new cast member to this channel. Her name is Freedom Frida, and she appeared in the comments to Morning's Lalate. You know what Freedom Frida said? She said, I Googled for stimulus check, and it didn't tell me much. Freedom Frida, who turns to a search engine for their information, for their news. You turn here for your news. Who gets this for stimulus check? You do. Single individual, 75,000 less. Democrats represent, you get one. Married couple, 150,000 less. You get one. And family of four, you get one as well. If you're at the beach this weekend and the check runs up to you, starts waving, it's not a waivable check. That's a German check. It's just very friendly. And if he kisses you on two cheeks, it's the Italian check, very European check. It's not the American check. And congratulations to everyone who got these big sums of money. But guess what? Today's your day to get these big sums of money as well. Here's the reality check. We're always doing reality checks on this channel. There is absolutely not going to be a forced stimulus check land in your hand next week. And there was not one in your hand last week. Ron Klain, who is the president's #1 guy in D.C., the chief of staff, appeared on broadcast media today. This is the guy. And he spoke about a lot of things, including forced stimulus. I'll cover his comments in a second. He also spoke about unemployment benefits. Are they going to be extended as they set to expire, these additional enhanced unemployment benefits? Are they getting extended next week? No, they're not. Federal government is not going to extend them. And his statement was that the federal government has given the states the legal leeway to use their third stimulus money given to the states as money for you if they want to offer you another round of enhanced unemployment benefits. Are the states doing that? Of course not. 0 states, blue states, red states, none of the states are taking their money and giving it to you. Of course not. So unemployment benefits not getting extended. Eviction moratorium now unlawful, but some states are doing it and some cities and counties are doing it. And forced stimulus is not coming. So this money is very important, which we're going over right now. And I introduced you last week to Johnny. Johnny got $80,000 from this channel. This is third stimulus. This money is available right now. This money is for you to get. You're going to get this money because it pays a fortune because you qualify for it. How much money did Johnny get? $80,000 last week. He was one of 3 viewers who started last week at 0. By the middle of the week, he was at 40,000 with 3 of them. 3 viewers got 40,000 for this channel. By the end of the week, he got 80,000 from 7 items. 7 different places, 7 items. He got this incredible sums of money, which were the following. He got $80,000 for items like rent. And then, and here was the breakdown. He got $12,000 for SNAP, $10,000 for EIDL. He got $1,800 for taxes. He got housing from 2 places, $21,000 for rent, and then another $25,000 for rent. And then he got $9,000 for utilities, plus $50 a month for internet and telephone, bringing his grand total to $80,000. Well, Johnny embodies the true spirit of this channel in so many ways, because guess what happened between last week when he got $80,000 and this week? He got 2 other people to watch this channel, and they have now gotten between $100,000 to $150,000. The reason why I say between, because I can't understand his comment. Either he means 2 family members both got 41,000, or as a family as a whole got 41,000, and then the other one got 57,000. So that he means either it's 100,000 or 150,000. Either way, it's a lot of money. Let me tell you what happened. Johnny got 80,000 last week, and then he started telling his neighbors and friends about this channel. And guess what he got? He immediately got pushback, which is what I got when third stimulus passed. A lot of people had just found this channel in January this year, and they said, oh, $1,400 stimulus check. There's nothing else in the third stimulus for me. They're Freedom Fridas. It's just a stimulus check. There's nothing else in third stimulus. I said, no, there's $14,000 at least in third stimulus for you to get. And Johnny got that same pushback, he reveals. So he told them, no. You need to pick up the phone. Pick up the phone? I thought everything just sort of comes in my hand. When is it coming in my hand? When? You met those people yesterday. That's the Wens from Missouri. They just keep on saying the word when. When is it laying in my hand? When is it coming to my direct deposit? Johnny said, no, you need to pick up the phone and call. Call? I never heard of this. And this is what Johnny tells us today. You're here for the first time at noontime. Just like you've been reporting, I've been telling you friends, I've been talking about you to my friends and family. And as of today, I've helped 5 friends save their home and put food on their table. And 3 family members thought I was full of it. This is what I've had to deal with since January this year. People just thought automatic check, nothing else. No. There's a lot of other money. A lot of money for you to get. If you don't want it, that's fine, but it's there. And that's what he told them. They did not believe him, and they said, no, you need to go get it. And then they started getting it. They got SNAP because it was a, quote, SNAP. That's what he wrote. And oh my God, 2 family members got $41,500. And the other one got $57,600. That's at least $100,000. The guy who got $80,000 from me last week told his friends to go get the money. They thought it didn't exist. They didn't believe him. He said, no, you need to listen to me and listen to this kid and get this money. They got $100,000 in 1 week. The reality is setting in. This has been awesome to see other people stop stressing about their bills. Your channel has helped so many others and myself tremendously. You're such a godsend. Purple Power, Purple Hawk. So let's go over that big money. Today is your day to get this big money. You're going to get some money for rent, utilities, food, internet, mortgage assistance, and more money right now. This is money you can get right now, like the viewers who got $100,000 in 5 days, like the viewer who got $80,000 in 5 days. You're going to get this money right now. Get that pen and paper ready. We're going to start with some rent. Rent pays a lot of money, and this money is not just a few $100s. Let's look at the numbers that people are getting for rent. Over $20,000. The range is about $20,000 to $27,000. Wow. Purple Hawk, Elizabeth. Are you a Purple Hawk? You need to join. The link is under the video where it says join here. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Johnny got $9,000 for utilities. See how high the numbers are going out? They're growing day by day. And then you saw the people on Johnny's list getting over $50,000 a snap. The numbers keep on growing. Incredible sums of money are growing across the channel. You're going to meet someone in a second whose number got even bigger. And then you met the people who got 3 items. Nancy getting 3 items at $32,000. Nisi at 3 items at $23,000. And Mark, 2 items at $32,000. Now, Mark sort of mirrors Johnny's story in so many regards. Number 1. Mark had not gotten Snap. So for 5 days on camera, I said to Mark, go get Snap. It's a Snap. That's what Johnny's laughing about. He's laughing about that line. And Mark got Snap in less than 5 days. Number 2, Mark told his friend about this channel, and that friend got $20,000 of rent in less than 5 days. Forced stimulus is not coming this week. It's not coming this week. This money is coming this week. Look at all these incredible success stories that we have by the hour, by the day. And guess what? That is not a rare circumstance. We had another story with a Kyra who got $17,000 last week. Dawn got 3 items for this channel. And then we had one viewer, Chanan, who says, hey, Lalate, I told my friend about you. She got $21,000 last week. There you go. And finally, Johnny has showed us not get 1 item, get multiple items. When we get later in this video, stay in the final 15 minutes of this video, I'm going to show you that forced stimulus is all about multiple items. Not 1 item. Johnny called 7 places to get 7 items. So Mark is now getting other items as well. And Mark finally got that Snap. How much do you think he got? Mark got $19,000 a Snap, bringing Mark's grand total on this channel to over $50,500, because this is what we do here. And this is the deliciousness of Mark, and the ceiling is the sky. But meet Lorraine at $105,000 she got from this channel. You found it. You found the place, and it's called Lalate. I've been doing this since day one, getting people massive sums of money, not small sums of money. On day one, people had applied for that EIDL loan and grant before this channel existed, and I launched this channel to get their applications approved, doing one at a time, $150,000 a pop, $25 million approved because of this channel of EIDL loans, saving their businesses, their homes, and their employees' homes. 3 days later, a very confusing application went live. So I started making videos before the application went live on the 25th. It went live in some states on the 28th. Other states were backed up until months later, like Florida. A guy, Eileen Bellicamp out of Florida, $15,000. What was that application that was so confusing? It was a PUA. In fall of 2020, same situation as now. There's no fourth stimulus check coming next week. There was no third stimulus check coming at that time. People needed money. There was no second stimulus check coming either. I got viewers $250,000 of rent, paying all their rent to the spring like Tyrone and $60,000. So get that pen and paper ready. We're going to get you money right now. Rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and homeowners utilities. If I go too fast in this video, you can always toggle it back to replay that section. Here are the introductory remarks. Number one, I'm going to show you 6 places to reach out to, so reach out to all 6. They have their own pot of money. They have their own eligibility. If one says no, don't worry, reach out to the next. Number 2, listen to the keywords I say in this video. It helps get people approved. Number 3, every state has money. Every state was dedicated the same amount of money based upon the number of citizens. All right, you ready? Here we go. You're going to reach out to your city hall, your city housing authority, your county hall, your county housing authority, your state hall, and your state housing authority. And the keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID, rent or mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. And there you go. You can do that. You can get this big sums of money. And congratulations to Tim and Linda who got this wonderful pot of money. If you got money for rent or SNAP or utilities, post a live chat. The next pot of money we're going to is SNAP. SNAP is a snap. As Johnny was repeating my comment back to you. SNAP is a snap. It pays a lot. You can for Department of Agriculture. Department of Agriculture. It's easier than a stimulus check. And how much does it pay? Mark got $19,000, but Mark is now sitting on $25,000. Why? Because of a new order from Department of Agriculture last Monday that raised everyone's benefits up an average of 25%. Yes, 25%. Nationwide, automatically, lifetime, starting October. It's incredible, great news. So get that snap. Lynn Glenn got it for herself, her son, or mom. If you're in the live chat, post as well. The next part of the money is the money coming back from your state due overpayment of unemployment benefits and a computer error. One viewer got $3,000, another viewer got $5,000. It's coming by direct deposit. And the great news is states have been ordered to upgrade the computer systems because Microsoft is now also going from Windows 10 to Windows 11. That means the states will have to upgrade from Windows 1910. The version where you rub some sticks together to cause some fire to light the computer on. And then finally, that refund check coming back from IRS. Margaret got it, Todd got it, Michael got it. It ranges anyone from $1,200 to $2,000. It was the taxes you paid on those unemployment benefits. More about that in a second. But here's a personal message from me to you. This channel was launched for me to get you money. And we're getting massive sums of money. You owe yourself. Pick up the phone and get that money. But if you're in the live chat, and you've gotten money, post your success stories right now. Post your rent, utilities, SNAP, or anything you got from this channel, because when you do, you inspire other people. They need the encouragement just to pick up the phone and call. This is your money. Go get it. Why would you not get $100,000 if that $100,000 was available for you and alleviate all these financial bills? Pick up the phone and call. Also post your success story in the live chat. People don't realize these sums of money are this big. They don't realize there's this thing called SNAP. Johnny said that. He said his family members never heard of this. They said, what is this thing? I've never heard of this. Yes, you need to get this. Finally, people are realizing I need to do several phone calls. One phone call and calling it a day is not going to cut it. Johnny got 7 items from 7 different places, 7 phone calls. When we get to 4 stimulus in the third part of this video, you're going to see there's a lot of money in a lot of different places. You're going to be making a lot of different phone calls across the board. And let's go back to those unemployment benefits. Where they line direct deposit otherwise in the mail. Can you track it? Yeah, go to irs.gov and do a transcript search. And 70% of the time it works. It will reveal the refund check you're getting and the tax return you filed. And then it will reveal the ingredient list to the Michatini. Did I really need to see that? No. Can we top that? Yes. As we go into the second part of this video, starting right now, deal done, signed, sealed. Your $3.5 trillion recon is a done deal. The president's #1 guy, his chief of staff, Ron Klain, appeared on broadcast media this Sunday morning. I told you it's going to be a big weekend with a lot of breaking news. If you weren't tuning in this weekend, well, you missed all the details. And he was asked about the 4th stimulus and the $3.5 trillion recon. What'd he say? It's done. It's like watching me with not as good a haircut. Ron Klain appeared on broadcast media, and he was asked about that, of course, infamous op-ed by Joe Manchin in the Washington Post just a few days ago. The op-ed by Joe Manchin said he doesn't has problems with the 3.5 trillion because he's worried about raising the national debt. Earth to Mars, Joe Manchin, it doesn't raise the national debt. It's paid for by taxes. So I don't even understand what the whole article's about. It doesn't make any sense. Oh, I do know what the article's about. Give me a book deal. But Ron Klain was asked, well, what do you think about the Joe Manchin article? He said, no, he was first asked, what do you think about the Joe Manchin article? He says, well, we're not raising the national debt. We're paying it by corporate taxes. And then he was asked, well, do you think that the recon is not going to pass? And then he said, it's already passed. Done, deal, signed, sealed. He basically said the same thing I said. Thank you, Ron. There you go. How did this pass? It passed when the recon was called for a vote 2 weeks ago, and that recon procedural passed. Ron Klain called it the recon structure, or recon framework, actually called it. Different words, same thing. And now this means that there'll be $3.5 trillion of checks coming to you and the American people. How do we get to this wonderful spot? We got to this wonderful spot by taking roads and bridges out of the recon and putting it into the bipartisan. Ironically, conservative publication confirms my reporting. The report said the following: the higher the price tag was on the recon before, the harder it was to pass. There you go. But by allowing the Democrats to take out some of the spending from the recon, the roads and bridges, and put it into the bipartisan, the overall price tag of the recon got smaller. In other words, the bipartisan deal made the recon passable. Now, there's a reason why you watch this channel. I got it. There's a lot going on this channel. I'm getting people money under third stimulus. I'm delivering world exclusives about multiple stimulus checks, and I'm delivering 24 hours a day, 7 days a week financial news. I know there's a lot going on, but one of the reasons you watch me is because I deliver news to you before it happens. And in the month of June and July, I told you the Democrats were going to pass the recon because they had met and agreed upon it. Do a recon, yes. Do a recon 3.5, yes. So that when they called it for a vote 2 weeks ago, it was a done deal. Now, for the first time, something I'm really explaining a little bit clear on this broadcast, noontime, is that the way that legislators do things is they agree ahead of time. I've seen some people, of course, Wendy and Will Wen are among these people. When is the bill vote? When are they releasing the bill? When are they negotiating the bill? When are they calling the vote? Oh my God, Wendy and Will Wen just need to sort of take it down a notch, because that's not how legislators do it. How legislators do it is the following. They first go and meet face-to-face in each other's rooms, or go to lunch, or have a meeting with a couple of them. And they say, what do you think about this bill? Let's talk about this. Let's talk about that. They first informally agree upon the deal provisions amongst themselves so that they have a verbal agreement. These are Democrats with Democrats. They're all friends. They agree upon the provisions as a family before they ever put pen to paper. So when they put pen to paper, they've already agreed upon everything. They're just writing down what they agreed upon. And when they call a vote, they're just voting on something they already agreed upon. Some people like Wendy and Will Wen think that they start determining how to do this when they start voting. No. Or when the bill is written, then they start making dramatic changes. Not House with House. No. House members are already meeting with House members. Senators are already meeting with senators. No. They're already agreeing upon the provisions ahead of time. Now, yesterday you met the illustrious Freedom Frida. Freedom Frida also told you that no one's working on the deal provisions of the recon substance this week. Untrue. I'll go over that in a second. So that's why Representative Ilhan Omar and Democrat Rick G. Torres, both Democrats, both progressive, had said we need a recon that goes as big as balls we want it. They got it, $3.5 trillion. And that's why Jalapal had been told by the president, protect the recon, because everything in that recon is checks for the American people. Done deal. So what is a recon? What is a bipartisan? Let's go over the recon procedural, recon substantive, and bipartisan starting right now. As Ron Klain said, the recon procedural is done. Done deal, signed, sealed. So we're on to recon substantive, but let's go over the two paths and what's at issue starting right now. We have two very different paths. Recon, your money, and bipartisan, not your money. Recon is reconciliation, also called the budget bill, also called the Democratic spending plan or the Progressive Social Reform Plan. Price tag $3.5 trillion. Bipartisan, infrastructure, not your money. And price tag $1.5 trillion. We had 3 bills to do. Now we're down to 2. Recon procedural pass. That's what Ron was talking about. That's what I was talking about. It's done. We've already agreed upon the framework, as Ron said. Now we're doing recon substantive and then bipartisan. What is the difference between recon procedural and recon substantive? Recon procedural is the price tag, $3.5 trillion. And that the money is given to certain committees. Watch that word committees. I'm going to come back to that later in the final 15 minutes of this video. Say the very end. Then recon substantive, which we're doing right now, this weekend. Yes, they're in town this weekend working, is how the committees are to spend the money. Once the committees are given the money, how do they spend the money? How do we get to this wonderful spot? We got to this wonderful spot from Jalapal, who wrote Schumer a letter saying, chuck all the vote. That letter was signed by 12 House Democrats, part of 100-plus House Democrats, who recently wrote the president a letter saying, they're going to be giving us monthly stimulus checks. Can we top that? Yes. As 7 members of the House Ways and Means Committee recently wrote the president a letter saying they're going to be giving you monthly forced stimulus checks. In Mornings LA today, Freedom Frida jumped into the comments. She was immediately banned. What did she write? While this video was airing on Mornings LA, she said, I'm going on Google now and it says there's no forced stimulus check. Really? She also wrote, I don't see it being talked about by anywhere. Really? Freedom Frida needs to find her freedom elsewhere. Just so you know. Leave Freedom Frida, because guess what? All the Democrats are talking about these monthly stimulus checks for you. They've written it, they've said it, and they're pushing for it. We have Wyden, Warren, Sanders calling for a monthly stimulus check. Then we have the whole House Ways and Means Committee calling for it as well. We have the incredible details of the House Ways and Means Committee calling for it as well. We have then the AOC and Omar calling for it. We have the House bill, which is signed by 100-plus House Democrats calling for it as well. And then, of course, Warren, Wyden, and Sanders. Can we top that? Yes. As ironically, Ron Wyden took a swipe at the next part that I always cover as well. I always cover in this part of the video the global minimum corporate tax rate. I always say Joe Biden made the recon easier because he took the global minimum corporate tax rate out of the forced stimulus recon. Well, Ron Klain, the chief of staff to Joe Biden, spoke about that this morning as well. When asked about the Manchin article, he said, this is easy to solve because Manchin basically says he doesn't want to raise the national debt to pay for the $3.5 trillion, but we're not. We're doing it through the global minimum corporate tax rate. Thank you, John. Thank you, Ron. What is that? It's raising corporate taxes. He specifically talked about 55 corporations that are not paying a penny of taxes. That's hundreds of billions of dollars. And that would pay for the recon. Done deal, signed, sealed. In the final 15 minutes of this video, we'll go over the big details about that MSC. Multiple stimulus checks. The number one guy in Washington wants you to have it. Then we'll be going over all the details about this application-based recon, how you're going to absolutely kill it in this forced stimulus recon. That and more. But first, here's a little bit about the volunteers. If you need help with rent or utilities, they can help you get that big money as well. First, get the first item yourself. If you can't get the other items, reach out to them. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LA Daily for the excitement of the new LA live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LA at 9 a.m. Home LA returns at 11 a.m. daily. and then afternoons Lalate at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on Lalate. And the excitement continues right now at noontime, direct from Santa Monica on this big Labor Day weekend. So much exciting, great news, and I want to congratulate in the live chat Gail Fleming, member Purple Hawk for 6 months. Congratulations. If you've not become a Purple Hawk, please do so. In the second half of this video, we'll be going over that fourth stimulus check and why the Democrats are likely to give you more months of checks. Then we cut to the recon. Done deal signed sealed, as Ron Klain, the chief of staff to the president, said this morning. Then we'll be going over the incredible details of the fourth stimulus application-based checks. What does this mean for you? How does this work? And of course, the push of the purple power for those MSCs. So much happening on a big noontime. So with that, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers at YouTube. Recognize what you're part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Like Gail, 6 months. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Meantime, if you've not signed up for those alerts, please do so. Purple Hawk members are delivered daily from me to them, a breakdown of all the big money that's available under first, second, and third stimulus. Because when third stimulus passed and people looked at it, a lot of people just said $1,400 stimulus check and then closed the book. And I said, no. There's a lot of other money in there for you. And that money is deliciousness. And now Purple Hawks are delivered daily from me to them, a breakdown of all this big money under first, second, and third stimulus for them to get across the board. SSI and SSDI reform will happen under fifth stimulus, which will raise your benefits up, apply a new benchmark, and give you more money lifetime. This would not happen until December. Incredible details. I'll feature it more on tonight on Evenings LA because we're running long on time at the moment. But four stimulus checks not landing next week. Eviction moratorium over on the federal level. Some states and counties and cities have it. The enhanced unemployment benefits ending on a federal level next week. And the new job creations number coming out last Friday, very bad, and Delta surging. So suddenly you realize, wait a second, this channel is giving you a lot. I'm giving you a lot because there is big sums of money available right now, and that's third stimulus. All these other things are not happening right now. Fourth, fifth, we're covering it, but they're not paying right now. And it's important to get these big sums of money of these other items. So become a Purple Hawk right today. So you learn about all these big sums of money. And so you can get these big sums of money for rent, utilities, food, and internet. 20, 30, 40, 50. And as you saw, Johnny got $80,000 2 weeks ago himself, turned around and showed his family members how to get $100,000. And with that, we go into the final 15 minutes of this video starting right now. Deal done, signed, sealed. A $3.5 trillion recon is coming to the American people. And that recon was solidified 2 weeks ago. In fact, the chief of staff to Joe Biden reiterated my statement on air this morning, reminding the American people that the recon has passed. The recon means that there will be a $3.5 trillion recon of all checks for the American people, the biggest we've seen on this channel. When the previous stimulus packages were this big, this one's this big, and it's all for you, while the previous ones were mostly for corporations. Now, before we get to checks, stimulus checks that come from IRS to you, let's go to these recon checks that are all application-based. You've been doing application-based since day one, whether it's PBT or PPP or PUA or SNAP. You've picked up the phone before. Applications-based does not mean you're filling out a 50-page application and a desk with a chair and a pen. No. It means you pick up the phone asking for the money. Let's go over some of the items that are proposed. You'll see none of these items are items that the IRS would ever pay you directly a check for. They are checks for free school meals for all, checks, tax break checks, cheaper prescription medication checks, checks for farmers, checks for free internet, checks for workers, checks for independent contractors, checks for medical expansion, checks for lower eligibility age, lots of checks for seniors, checks for dental, checks for vision, and checks for hearing care. Those are proposed. You see there that those are checks that the IRS would never send you. IRS doesn't know about your teeth. They don't know about your internet. So they would never be sending you this check. So where are these checks? In those committees. That's what we were talking about early in this video. I said, look at that keyword committee. When we look at the House, when we look at the recon procedural, money given to committees, and then the committees determine how to spend the money. So when Recon 4 becomes law, you're going to reach out to the committee to get those monies. Different committee and different checks. lots of them. And that's why you're absolutely going to kill it under forced stimulus. Because if you're someone like Johnny who picked up the phone and called 7 different places, you're going to look at forced stimulus recon and say, oh, there's a lot of checks in there for me to get. I'm going to call up this place. I'm going to call up this place. I'm going to call up all the different places and get all these incredible sums of checks. And there you go. That's forced stimulus recon. Done, deal, signed, sealed. Now, let's turn to the monthly stimulus check, the MSC, that would be paid by IRS Treasury to you. It's interesting because across the land, it feels as though sometimes I have to tell other broadcast channels how to run their business. And there's always someone who wants to jump in the comments and says, what about this thing that I saw somewhere else? And as I said earlier in this video, Freedom Frida jumped into the comments on Mornings Lalate, said, I went on a search engine, and the search engine told me there's no stimulus check under the forced stimulus recon. Well, do I own the search engine? Did I write the search results? No, I didn't write them. And there's always someone that says, well, I reached out to my local news station where I am, and they said they don't see a forced stimulus check. Well, guess what? I don't own that news station. And if I did, I wouldn't be putting out that news story. What would I be doing? I'd be picking up the phone and calling the legislators and asking them. Because guess what? Not one of those broadcast channels have ever asked the legislators, are they giving you a stimulus check? That's after we have, 200, 300 people that I've already detailed that said they were going to give it to you, from all the House Democrats to the Senate Democrats. They're all saying they're going to give it to you. But did any of these broadcast channels ever care to pick up the phone and ask? No. So what do? We did ask. And it started 3 weeks ago when one of you on this channel, WR, picked up the phone and called, because I was telling viewers to call their legislators, Democrats, and urge for a monthly stimulus check. Spoke to Senator Chris Coons, Democrat, Delaware, Joe Biden's oldest confidant. Spoke to his staffer about the monthly stimulus check, and Senator Chris Coons, the staffer, said yes. Senator Chris Coons is proposing a monthly stimulus check in the forced stimulus recon. Well, there we go. You ask, you get an answer. You don't ask, you don't get an answer. And that's not news reporting to not ask. That's called inaccurate reporting. So then what happened? Well, let's go to this week. This week, when you look at the recon, you got to understand what its full name is. It's called the Recon or Reconciliation Budget Bill. The whole name, Forced Stimulus Reconciliation Budget Bill. Notice the word budget. Which committee in the Senate oversees this bill? The Budget Committee. Yeah, it's sort of obvious. Budget Committee, Budget Bill. Yeah, it's sort of obvious. And so who is head of the Budget Committee? The Budget Chairman. Oh, yeah. The Budget Chairman, head of the Budget Committee that oversees the Budget Bill. I just sort of see this reoccurring word, budget. Yeah. So who is that Budget Chairman? Bernie Budget Sanders. Bernie Budget Sanders is chairman of the budget bill, that budget committee that sees the budget bill. That's the recon. Yeah, okay. So what did he say last weekend? He said, contact me. How many broadcasters contacted him? 0. Yeah. What were they doing? They were comparing Courtney and Kim's eyeshadow. That's a lot bigger priority for them than asking whether there was a stimulus check for you. And so what did Bernie say? Bernie said, on the record, previous budget chairmen have really just sort of done things within D.C., but I like to get out amongst the people. That means he wants to hear from you. So last weekend I told viewers, contact Senator Bernie Sanders and express your professional opinion about why you should have a monthly stimulus check. Not a lot of viewers called. Lynn Glenn at that time called, and Brother Joshua, longtime viewer and volunteer and volunteer from 2020, wonderful volunteer, picked up the phone and called Bernie Sanders and spoke to his staff about whether Senator Sanders wants to give an MSC. Opening question. Will Senator Sanders give us a monthly stimulus check? Of course he will. He's proposing it. That's Freedom Frida freezing up. Freedom Frida just froze up. All her looking for news reports on search engines froze up because that's not what the search engines told them. Did Freedom Frida ever pick up the phone and call? Of course not. She doesn't have a free hand. She's holding all those wads of cash in her hand. She has no free hands to pick up a phone. Did this guy with the eyebrow issue, did he ever pick up the phone? He is Count Akkad. He says, whatever happened in July, what happened in June? My answer for Count Akkad is, whatever happened to your phone? Did you pick up the phone, ever ask anyone? And what about Count it, Colleen. It's September. It's September. Yeah, count it, Colleen. When are you going to pick up the phone? In November? They didn't do anything but just ask questions in comments on a YouTube channel. Well, Brother Joshua asked questions of someone. It was a Bernie Sanders staffer. Will there be a forced stimulus check? Yes, it will be. And it will be monthly. Oh my goodness. Let's go over the deal provisions of what was said in that conversation. Senator Sanders is proposing a monthly stimulus check. The amount is $1,000 to $1,400 a month. Yes. And that it will be 3 to 6 months. Yes. There you go. Let's go back to that House bill. Let's compare Sanders versus that House bill. The House bill takes you a year to get paid. 12 months takes you an entire year to get paid $13,000. On the high end, $1,400 at 6 months, it takes you 6 months to get paid about $9,000. Which one do you like? Getting the money faster but a little bit less of it than waiting a whole year? Either way, it's a good offer from Bernie Sanders. Great news. Now, what else did the conversation say? That Senator Bernie Sanders needs your support because he doesn't want to propose it unless he hears your support. Purple Power, this is what we do. We push. We pushed in 2020. We made history in 2020 because no one wanted to give you a second stimulus check in December. I came up with the idea to put a stimulus check in the CR, the continuing resolution. It was my idea, and I said for you to push. We pushed, and we made history. Now is your opportunity, again, to make history. Now is your opportunity to make news, not to report the news. To pick up the phone and call Bernie Sanders' office, not today, but on Tuesday, and say, I support you, Bernie Sanders. I support you. Thank you for helping us. Say in a professional, respectful, and kind way. Going to his Facebook account and sending a message. I understand going to Twitter and sending 4 words and pressing tweet is its own task. But picking up the phone and calling and saying, I support you is a bigger task. Do it. Elizabeth Warren, Ron Wyden, Chris Coons, they need to hear from you. They want to give you a monthly stimulus check. Pick up the phone and call them and say yes. Let's recap. I know there's a lot going on this channel. I know there's a lot going on in this video. And we've done a lot in this entire time. Number 1, forced stimulus check is not landing in your bank account this week. And you need money. So I'm showing you how to get lots of money. Johnny's a very real story about a person who started a week with nothing, ended the week with 80,000, and then turned around and told even his family members were in disbelief. I don't think I can get this. Why would I have to pick up the phone? Why would I have to do anything? Why? Just do it. And they got it. $100,000 in just 5 days. Next. It's important to understand that that forced stimulus recon is a done deal, signed, sealed, $3.5 trillion, all checks for you, application-based. And so if you have picked up the phone and gotten one item on the third stimulus, you're going to kill another fourth stimulus because it's going to involve lots of different checks and lots of different committees for you picking up the phone. You're going to kill it. Number 3. You need to become a Purple Hawk because all these big sums of money in this forced stimulus recon are available for you, delivered from me to you via the YouTube or Lalate alert system, so you know about all this big money. This is real money. Lots of it that's available for you. And if you get one item, you're going to kill it on the forced stimulus. People who are not going to do well on the forced stimulus are people going to say, when? Oh, yeah, we've met them. They're the whens. Yeah, Wendy and Will when. Yeah, that's all they say. When. Just pick up the phone, Wendy, and call. When? Now. When? And then finally, you need to push because there's someone who has your back. Now, when all the Democrats are talking about monthly stimulus checks, and the number 1 guy on the number 1 committee with the bill wants to give you a stimulus check but needs your support, this is your call to duty. Time for you to make history. Time for you to push Purple Power. Pick up the phone and support the legislator. Can you imagine? Then looking back on Purple Power in 2020, we would often think, who has our back? Now there's an opportunity where someone says, you have my back, I have your back. Make history, make the news, don't just report the news. And this has been a great day. I'm going to be joining throughout the day. Coming up next is Afternoons LA at 1 o'clock, then the 3 o'clock Afternoons LA, then the Evenings LA, then Sirloin tonight, and maybe I'll throw in another live on location show as well. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. pause the audio for a second. Someone, Sandy, earlier today said that Tina had a health issue. I don't want to say anyone's health issue on air, but I want you to keep Tina in your thoughts and wishes. I do know there's another Tina in the live chat, so it's not that Tina that's in the live chat. It's another Tina that Hurricane Tina, I believe she's referring to. So keep her in your thoughts and prayers. And with that, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. Stay informed, stay focused, and join me next on Afternoons LA. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and consider becoming a member. And don't forget to sign up for those LA alerts, totally free, and join me throughout the day. And stay with LA for more.